Michelle was talking about the sooner the better on the bylaws. We don't put that off too much longer. Trish is asking if we're ready to start the meeting. I think we are. We will call the meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. We have the go-ahead from Alex. All right. Hello, everyone. Board members present. I see Jamie. I see Nicole, Sal, Steve, Michelle. 2 members are not present tonight. They are out sick. One is Patty. The other one is Jessica. Forgive me while it takes me a moment to think of these names. We will very quickly share the agenda. We want to encourage you to take a look at it and then let us know if it is approved as read. Back to Tricia. Did everyone see the agenda? Everyone saw the agenda, correct? Okay. There is an edit that is needed. The August board minutes should read October board minutes. Okay, so that has been changed to reflect the correct month. And everyone can see the minutes. So the agenda will be approved as edited. The October board minutes will be the next item to approve.
I move that we approve the minutes as read.
Back to Tricia, all in agreement. Do I see an affirmation from everyone? Yes, yes, yes.
Aye.
Okay.
Yes.
And I will move now to my president's report, which will be brief. Let me just make sure I check my notes 1 second. I have to work with my technology. Give me just a moment. Okay, and this is a new laptop I'm having to adjust to again. It is hard, in fact, to believe that we are coming up on the end of 2020. We look forward to 2021 and the changes it may bring. We look forward to the positive changes. This year has been tough, and we are making it through one day at a time. As a reminder to the board members, to you and community members, you are not alone. We're in this together, and I hope that we can all feel that support. Sometimes it's easy to feel alone and down given what's gone on, but know that you are, in fact, not alone. There is support available. And we also know that it is healthy to ask for help. Asking for help is not a bad thing, and just make sure you do it when you need to, please, board members. And also I encourage you to remind community members of the same thing. I have been teaching at Fresno State, and my students work on projects, and they have been doing one with DHHSC through the Service Learning Project. And through that, they have been able to raise a little bit of money for the agency, and I'm very proud of them, and I want to commend their very, very hard work. This semester has been a challenge going to the virtual learning, and students trying to figure out a new balance and making their way through a lot of challenging situations, but they have persevered. And I want to say thank you to the staff of DHHSC for supporting my students through this process and continuing to work with them. Their experience has been overwhelmingly positive in their experience with you. So thank you, all staff of DHHSC, for your support of my students. And I'm also saying great job to the students too. So that concludes my president's report for today. And there's no vice president's report at this time, so we'll go to the next agenda item, the secretary's report. Serena.
The secretary has nothing to report for this month.
Back to Tricia. Okay. We will now go to Steve to go over the treasurer's report. And as a reminder, when we share a screen, we want to make sure that that sharing is brief and that we stop sharing before we start the discussion. We want to give folks 30 seconds thereabouts to view the shared screen and then hold the discussion for after the sharing. And we can go ahead now.
And I'll be sharing both October and November. All right. I will show October 1st and then show November. And I do not have host access in order to share my screen. And now you should. Okay, give me one moment.
Steve Longo is asking if we need to make it bigger, and Trish is saying we need to make sure we stop sharing before we discuss it.
This is for the month of October. Give me a moment. Okay. For the month of October, you may have noticed the balance, $17,724. And that was approved in the account. To now, the current balance is $210,000. And with DHHSC, accounts receivable totals $414,870.10. And that is for the month of October only. Any questions in regards to the month of October? Seeing none, I will now share the month of November.
Steve Longo saying I'll remove my background so it's easier to see me while I'm signing. Give me just a moment.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it off. Give me just a moment. Okay. I have it turned off. Better.
Trisha's saying much better. Yes.
Much better.
Thank you.
Okay, great. I apologize for the blurriness and the visual distraction. All right, so I just checked in with Paul, who is our financial manager for DHHSC. I was curious as to the $383,501 that had not been received yet from initial invoicing. And the suspicions is that it has to do with the COVID-19 situation and the slow pay. We should get $383,501, but that money has not come in yet. So that money is essentially still in the piggy bank, and we are okay for now until January. And hopefully come January, we'll be able to generate more of that revenue and get that money in, and we'll share that with you. Any questions in regards to the November report that was displayed? Okay, then that is conclusion of my report. Thank you.
Trisha's saying thank you. It really is helpful to understand why that money is still outstanding. COVID-19 would definitely explain it. All right, we will move now, if I can communicate clearly, to the Executive Director's report. Michelle, on to you. Are you good, Pam?
Yes.
Okay.
I would first like to comment. One moment. That the outstanding income is always a slow process in terms of coming in. However, it has definitely been exacerbated with the COVID-19 situation, constantly having to pursue those monies that are due to us and trying to ensure that they are generated by June, because our books have to close up for the fiscal year. So they depend on the budget being closed out by the month of June. For my report tonight, I will just briefly touch on things. I'm sure many of you are interested in the financials, so I will mention those. Because the interpreting revenue has been substantially reduced, we are able to apply for Save Our Nonprofit through the city of Fresno. There are grant funds there available. We're hoping that we will be allocated those monies. Definitely worth a try. You may also remember that the board contributions being increased because we had applied for the grant through Monterey Peninsula Foundation. And all of you, thank you so much for your donations. We are at 100%, and we were approved for funding for a fourth year. So we are very grateful that you were all able to make your contribution, and that those funds will help with the Salinas office and interpreting services on the coast. First 5 of Merced, we were approved for the parents for 2 years. So we have 2 different videos that will be created. One is parents with deaf parents with hearing children. The other video will be hearing parents with deaf children. So we will be creating those videos focusing on how to love and care for those children. Both of those will be captioned. For Giving Tuesday, so far we have generated $3,424. what is exciting, first of all, thank you to all of your support and the community support. Some have indicated they would mail checks to DHHSC, which we are waiting to receive, and we'll put those into the bank, and we will let you know of those additional funds. But we are thrilled. Those funds will help to pay for new laptop for our staff. They will help to purchase other laptops for clients who need to borrow them for services, our Zoom Pro account for staff who need that in order to access classes. So I greatly appreciate your support in that effort. I also want to share with all of you that I am very happy that we will plan to meet in January, because that is also the time of the year that United Way of Tulare would like for us to go through the standards of excellence check sheet and ensure that we are in compliance. And that happens in January. So we will be able to go through that check sheet to make sure that we are maintaining compliance. In terms of the agency update, as of now, we are unsure as to whether or not we are going to proceed with the holiday car parade. We have been planning and we are hopeful, but with the shelter in place order that has just gone out, we are unsure. We have made contact with Shane with the city of Fresno to further explore how we might be able to move forward. We are wanting to get food distributed to our low-income families, and many CBOs, community-based organizations, are continuing to host this same idea. So we are investigating that and gathering information, and I will keep you posted. We very much want to, but we are also nervous. We have also received sponsorship from Sorensen for $500, so we are grateful for that sponsorship as well. The Harold Fox show that we had recently, the virtual performance, thank you to those of you who joined. Sorensen sponsored his performance, which meant the ticket revenue went all to DHHSC, which was $400. And we so appreciate that. And last but not least, the students that Tricia mentioned, oh my goodness, I have to say they have done a fabulous job during a very challenging and difficult time. Previously, they had hosted workshops and different things, but they just brought in $600 through a yoga workshop. So once again, T-shirt sales, and most recently the Disney Trivia Night was also a fun night that was hosted. We hope to do something like that again, and I would like for you to remind your students that we want to do that again. But the students are absolutely to be commended for a job well done. They were creative, resourceful, and fundraising is not an easy task, but they took great initiative and did a fabulous job. So grateful for their support. Oh, and financial support for the ROC program will continue, and the YES program. Question from Steve for Michelle.
Will we still be able to host the Martha's Vineyard event like that we normally do in March every year? Or will it have to move to a virtual platform, or will it be in person at DHHSC?
We are having that discussion of whether or not we can host that virtually via Zoom. I mean, with the vaccine now slowly but surely to be distributed, we are going to be the last people to receive those vaccines. So I do not believe we can have an in-person event for March. So we are looking at how to plan that event to be a virtual event.
All right, sounds good.
Asking and checking.
Yeah. Back to Tricia. Thank you, Michelle, for your report. I would also like to mention that we will move to general board comments. Since we don't have a fundraising effort at this time, we've all put in a little bit, and so that's what we have for now. And we do hope to have somebody in place for the fundraising chair here very soon. And as I said, we'll move to the general board comments. Michelle, schools here locally have been providing food, lunches, sometimes breakfast. My grandchildren have been getting those meals from their schools. And I know that that's not actually being done in person. The food's being placed in trunks. So I'm wondering if that's something we can consider, if we can ask the school districts for some guidance or feedback on that, and maybe we can apply that to the event we're trying to plan. So folks can open their trunks and there's not that actual person-to-person contact is an option maybe.
Yes, Michelle. Yes, that is the plan. We have made a sign for people to drive through. Please pop your trunks so that the staff can place the food in the trunk. We do not want windows down at any time. And people who are working in the building will be limited. There will only be 2 in the kitchen, very few in the community room that are properly distanced. And most of the people will be outside. We are trying to figure out how to keep everyone safe, appropriately distanced. The numbers are skyrocketing. The ICU rooms are full, and we are nervous, but we also very much care for our community and want to make sure those needs are met. At the same time, we want to comply with all of the guidelines. Masks, gloves, etc.
Back to Tricia. Jamie, did you want to add a comment? Yes.
I went to the library and they were putting things in the trunk there as well, or in boxes or in bags, and placing them in the trunk. And it was a drive-up event and they simply placed the food in the trunk. So I would guess something like that could be done.
Tricia, hopefully we can still keep this event. So fingers are crossed. Are there any other general board comments?
None noted.
Sal, yes.
If you need a hand, let me know. I'm more than happy to come. And I would like to see the board involved in this event as well. If some aren't able, that's understandable, but it'd be nice to have 1 or 2 board faces present.
Michelle saying yes, thank you for that. I wanted to add here, the challenge really comes in that many people have offered to help. We're just trying to figure out what that safe number is. I don't want to say thank you, no thank you. If I don't have to, it's just, you know, historically we've been like, oh, we need help. And now we have many people ready to help and may not be able to manage that number safely. But thank you, Sally. We'll definitely keep that information in mind and I will keep everyone posted.
Okay.
Switching interpreters.
Now moving to unfinished business. We would like to have an election for our vice president tonight. So drum roll, please. Are you ready? I would like to open up discussion about our new vice president. We would like to have that election take place tonight. So I have opened up the floor for discussion.
This is Sal. I would like to nominate myself. I'm definitely interested in the position of vice president for the DHHSC board. And I feel it's time for me to start giving back to my community. And I have long since been a member of DHHSC. Not only is it an organization, but it's been part of my life. And it's time for me to start giving back. And I feel my experience and my background and my upbringing and working with parents is an asset. And I feel like sometimes I'm limited in that role because all I do is refer people. So now I want to be able to really actively be involved and roll up my sleeves and work with the community and the community members, deaf, hard of hearing, parents, and the like. I feel that I can absolutely do this and satisfy that desire to give back.
Yes, so Sal has self-nominated as vice president. And is there anyone else? Seeing no response.
Steve Longo saying I move that we close the nominations.
Okay. Who seconds that motion that Steve Longo has made?
Serena saying I second.
Seconded by Serena. And I will be asking Sal to leave the room. And we will have discussion and move forward with a vote in private.
I was asking.
So, Alex, if you could please move Sal to a breakout or a waiting room. Thank you. Sorry, I have a cough. Sal is here. Sal is not here. My apologies. Okay, we are opening the floor for discussion in support of Sal's nomination as vice president.
This is Steve Longo. A discussion now. We just go ahead and talk about it.
Yes, pros and cons. He has self-nominated.
I don't really have any pros or cons to offer. I know that he's a brand new board member. I don't know that he's had a ton of time to really study the process, but as it stands, we don't have and have not had a vice president in place for some time. So there are other needs to consider. I think he will learn as he goes if he is selected for vice president.
Any additional comments, feedback to add to the discussion?
Jamie saying none from me.
Serena, any thoughts or comments?
We don't have a vice president and haven't for a very long time. So it's critical that we have someone in that position. And I think Sal will do a great job.
Okay. Nicole, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Thank you for asking. I don't have a lot of experience with this process, but I too believe that Sal is motivated and excited, is willing to put his name out there, and I think he would be a great vice president.
Okay, back to Tricia. We will close the discussion or comments if they're.
Yep, call to vote. Mm-hmm.
So when you vote, if you can message me through the chat, please, in order to vote, you can simply say yes or no. Message me privately through the chat. Just send me a simple yes or no via the chat.
This is Steve Longo. Make sure to change it from everyone to selecting Tricia privately so that not everyone sees what these votes are in the chat.
Correct. Yes, find my name directly. Okay, I see 4 yeses. I am not voting because I am here as a tiebreaker only. My position is neutral unless needed as a tiebreaker. We do have 4 yeses, which means that we will welcome Sal as our new vice president. And I will work with him so that we can have support as president. I am grateful because I need support and excited. So thank you.
And then Steve's asking, we're going to bring Sal back into the room, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just taking a picture of this on my phone. One moment. Okay, I've gotten a picture. Go ahead. And Sal's screen is black. There we go. It is my honor to say hello and welcome to our new board vice president, Sal Garcia.
Yay, thank you all. Thank you.
And Sal will be serving as our new vice president. And is there a short message you'd like to share, Sal?
Yes, I am excitedly looking forward to the new year and this new role. I've worked as part of the community in the education realm, and I'm excited to expand my role to be more involved with the community than I have been before. Michelle sees me all the time. She knows what I am capable of doing. Anytime I'm called, I'm there. And I really feel that I'm looking forward to working with all of you. I am a team player. I always check in with folks and make sure everyone is supported, and know that I will be checking on you all. And I again work very hard to make sure people are okay. I try to keep track of people and keep a pulse of what's going on. So anyway, thank you for the warm welcome to this new home on the board.
Yay.
This is Michelle. Congratulations on the new position. So what you have, your first responsibility is to get us $1 million in 2021. It's no problem. That's just the only job you have to do as VP. It's totally doable, right?
No problem. I will do my very best. We will do our best.
Trisha's saying, thank you, everyone. Yes, we'll pose for the $1 million. That is from that movie that we all know so well. The Austin Powers movie, that is. Okay. So moving to new business. I'm asking the board, is there any new business to consider?
I think my thinking will be better in January, Steve says.
Trisha's saying yes. I believe January there will be a few items to bring up.
Serena says, I hope so.
We are looking now at the board schedule for 2021. We would like to confirm that the months the meetings will be held are January, April, August will be community comments as it is annually. The next board meeting would be October, and the last one in 2021 would be in December.
Sounds good.
So I'm asking the group, do we want to commit to this being the second Tuesday of every month? Yes, Nicole?
January and April, typically there is spring break and winter break. So I just want you to be aware of the fact that those are months when college break times frequently happen. Thinking ahead, when are those breaks?
Trisha's saying, okay, let me look at a calendar. Just a moment. Okay, the second week of April is in fact spring break. Duly noted, Nicole. I think it's a good time. It'll be quiet. I don't know. I'm open for discussion. That's my thought. Michelle first, and then Nicole. Yes.
I am Googling Easter for next year. It is indicating it is April the 4th, which means the board meeting would be after that. It would be after this break. Because the break is the week prior to Easter or spring break. And then Easter, and then the return to school is the day or two following Easter Sunday.
Trisha's saying, okay, so it would be April 13th.
Yes, that would be the date for the meeting.
So,
April 13th.
I'll write that down, April 13th. Nicole's saying, I thought we would avoid spring break because people are going to be busy and or gone or dealing with their kids. I don't know. I was thinking we would avoid spring break versus plan it during spring break.
Serena, this year will be different because of COVID. Everyone has kids at home already, and people are not planning travel for the most part. People are unable to travel. So
okay,
I think we'll be fine with that date. And in 2022, we may need to take a look at changing that. But for the upcoming year, COVID is still changing everything. And so I think we'll be fine.
back to Trisha. Okay, so January, the date would be the 12th. April, it would be the 13th. So January 12th, April 13th. They're both Tuesdays. Yes, Nicole, both Tuesdays.
Tuesday, okay.
The second Tuesday of the month. And then August, we would hold our community comment, which is typically on a Saturday. So that's open for discussion.
Steve is saying I'll be out of town the 8th through the 14th for that week. So maybe the 17th. Oh no, wait a minute. Community comments tends to be a Saturday, right? So looking at Saturdays, Tricia is saying August the 7th. Community comments
has to be on the Saturday. Okay.
Yes.
So 21st.
I'm feeling that that is a little too late because if we do fundraising,
Sal says, I'm working on the $1 million, remember?
Right? One is on a Sunday.
21st is a Saturday, Steve Longo saying.
I think the 21st is too late in terms of people spending money if we have it connected to some sort of fundraising event.
This is Serena. I think the other thing to consider is also we are already starting school. So that is a very busy time for folks. If we move it later in the month in August, I think that also competes with folks getting back to school as well.
And be clear, I'm looking at the 7th, not the 17th. I am looking at Saturday, August the 7th. 7th. Not 1-7, 7. Okay?
Serena's saying, yes, that's better. Jamie's saying it's a good idea.
Yes.
Nicole's saying I'm fine with that. I think we get it out of the way at the beginning of the month.
Typically, community comments happens in late morning or around noon. It does not go into the evening. So then looking at our next board meeting in October, the second Tuesday would make it October the 12th. October the 12th. And then in December, that would land on December the 14th for the second Tuesday at the same time from 6 till 7. And it's nice to have the schedule set for the upcoming year. That's nice to know.
Sal's asking Serena, I have a question for you. Did you get all of that? Okay. Just
Yes,
checking
I
in.
got it all down.
Making sure. I have to double check. I just want to make sure I check in with you after these meetings, and so checking in.
Sure. Nicole, you wanted to say something?
Yes. The dates for 2021, I just want to triple check that I have the right date. So if you can do that with me after, that would be great.
Yes, I will send out an email with that information. And Alex is here as well, so he can make note of those dates and start with our community publicity. So we've killed two birds with one stone. I believe that's the proper saying.
Yes. And so do we know the time yet for community comments? Has that been set?
Not at this point. We'll look at that likely in January.
Okay.
Yes. So our dates are noted on our calendars. Any other new business? Not seeing any.
See if Longo's saying adjourn or close the new business rather.
Do we have a second?
Sal, as a new vice president, I second the motion.
All right. New business is closed. We are now open for public comments. Alex, do you see anything from the community, from the public?
There's only been one comment thus far. It was from Jacob saying a comment regarding something about fundraising, the $1 million. His response was just an acknowledgement of that, but no other public comments.
Okay, we can wait just to see if there are any other comments from the community, from the public. Any public comments? Checking in on that.
I put a message out to those who are watching, so we'll see if anything comes back. Still nothing. Alex keeps checking. So far, no responses for public comment.
And still waiting. We'll wait 1 minute, 2 minutes. As the pulse continues. I assume then we will close public comments. Seeing nothing. Are there any announcements? Seeing,
Sal, I have one, yes.
Yes, Sal.
Happy holidays, everybody. Stay safe.
Yes, yes, yes.
And when you start to feel unwell, take your NyQuil, your DayQuil, drink lots of water.
And
Remember
Starbucks.
to text somebody, send somebody love. Sometimes that's what you need. You never know when somebody might be feeling like they're out of touch. Send them a message with just a heart. Send them an I love you. Reach out to somebody. One simple text now with COVID being what it is, one simple thing can really make a tremendous difference to one person. So that's what I wanted to say. And then sending you all virtual hugs, making my way around the room, air kisses that are COVID appropriate. And that's my announcement to you all, my new family, my new board family and community. Thank you.
Nicole. Go ahead, Nicole.
Okay, hang on one second. They're switching interpreters, so let me make sure I can see the interpreter. Okay, this is Nicole. I have to agree with what Sal said. It's really important at this time to support each other, especially with the holidays and with COVID. I think people are getting worn out with all this. A lot of people feel isolated and are isolated. And so make sure you check in with folks, make sure they're okay, make sure they know they're being thought of and loved. We really need to make an effort to support each other and keep each other positive. I believe that's very, very important. So be safe and healthy, everybody. Be careful. And I also wanted to ask Michelle if there are any plans or announcements related to the board and the community, what we can do to further support the community.
That is a great question. For now, I would say just continue to alert people of our fundraising efforts like Giving Tuesdays. We are still accepting donations to support those laptops. If we move forward with the holiday cars, we may need more people to spread the word. But other than that, we are looking forward to the next board meeting to begin planning for our new year. Nicole, and then Steve.
And then Michelle, also if you could add some information about how long folks can continue to donate for the Giving Tuesday and how they can go about doing that, that would be great.
Absolutely. Typically, we continue accepting donations through the end of the year, December 31st. That is the end of the tax year. And so individuals can donate by mailing in a check. They can also make donations through PayPal on the DHHSC website. So though either way, whichever is best for the donor.
Thank you. This is Steve. A question for Michelle. Our goal is $5,000, right?
Correct.
And we have about 1,700 left. Is that right?
Yes. And our goal is one person that will donate 2,000 that will be a matching donation. So we're not quite there yet. So we're hoping, because one person has donated 2,000. So we want to take full advantage of that matching donation. So we're not at 5,000 yet, but that is definitely our goal.
Trisha's saying, okay, one more comment from Nicole. We will close the announcements.
And if you can, share with everybody I think it's a good idea for people to know what the fundraising goal is. That's good for the community to be aware of and for us as a board to be aware of.
This is Michelle. I want to add a response, Tricia, if that's okay to that. The reason why we are asking for a laptop is several reasons. With working remotely, many of our laptops have just completely worn out. They're old and have been used a lot. And we have some clients who do not have access to any of that type of technology, and we want to be able to provide a used laptop for them to loan. We don't want anyone to feel completely out of touch and without services, and especially now with no in-person services. Before, we could make it happen. We could go to the window, we could do masks, but now we are not going to do anything in person at all. It'll be strictly through a laptop. And so we need a Zoom Pro account so that we can continue to hold our meetings. The free account is only 40 minutes. And as soon as that hits, then we have to try and get reconnected. With the Pro account, the staff would be able to provide effective services. So that is the goal for this year.
Last comment, please, Alex, last comment.
Okay, last comment. There was one comment from Jacob, the same person from before, who said that he would send virtual love and air kisses to everybody. So that's it.
Thank you. Very nice. All right. Then I am going to adjourn our meeting tonight and am happy to do so at 6:53. I want to thank all of you for making the time to be here with us tonight, for showing up. Thank you for working as a team. I look forward to seeing all of you next year with new ideas and new plans. Thank you.